But we're going to kind of take a little bit of a different turn here. We want to talk about a story that kind of means a lot to us, and we're really kind of excited to talk about. And that's Carey Price coming back to the crease. And it hasn't been maybe the most successful in terms of statistics and wins, but that's not really what this story is about at all.
No.
We're just really happy on a personal level for him. And for me personally, Carey Price was my favorite player growing up. He's someone that I idolized. And so I'm really happy to see him back. But, Ange, I want you to kind of take this a little bit further and discuss really what it means to yourself and to us as well.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, like you said, the NHL, from an objective standpoint, has quite possibly a top 5 goalie ever to play back in action, which I think is great for the NHL. But like you said, that is not even the 5th best thing to come from this story. I am very, very, very proud of Carey Price being one of the most notorious players in the NHL, having the courage to take strides to advocate for mental health in a league that has notoriously put mental health on the back burner.
Yeah.
A lot of the times NHL players are expected to, just go out there, put their mental health aside, play hockey, and they're just expected to be they're expected essentially to go around and act like their life is fantastic because they play hockey for a living. And at the end of the day, NHL players are humans too.
Absolutely.
We've seen NHL players open up in the past with some difficulty about the challenges of playing on the road, being away from family, dealing with the pressure, dealing with being cut and having to bounce back from the AHL to the NHL, and also dealing with certain types of addictions.
Yeah.
And this is where the Carey Price story has led to. And I am just so proud of him for being a mental health advocate in this league. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Really, happy, especially in a market like Montreal. It takes a lot of courage to do that. And you alluded to it. Hockey has that sort of, it's a little bit of toxic masculinity, like just suck it up and move on. Don't show any signs of weakness. But I think it's time that pro sports is, and we've seen it in other sports, but it's really happy to see that hockey sort of seems to be moving in that direction. And I hope that he wins the Masterton Award because he was nominated for that from his team. I hope he ends up getting nominated for a league-wide and wins it, because I think that not only would that be a great story for him personally, but it would, again, shine another light on mental health and the importance of being open about it and seeking treatment when you need it.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, by now, Carey Price entered a treatment facility for substance abuse. And he opened up and talked about how over the last few years he had let himself get to a very dark place, which he said in quotes. And he talked about how he didn't have the tools to to cope with his struggle. I'm sure so many NHL players across the league are dealing with addiction, with mental health difficulty. And I'm just so happy to hear that now with Carey Price speaking up, this might incentivize other players to really advocate for their own mental health. It might create a new culture in the NHL, which is something that has been a long time coming.
Yep.
Especially in my past playing hockey, there's always that saying, just toughen up and go out there and play. And I'm sorry, if you put your mental health on the back burner for a long enough time, eventually things start to spill over.
Yep. And
eventually your life starts to spiral. And I'm very, again, very thankful for Carey Price opening up and becoming a leader in mental health space.
Yeah, well said.